welcome back to the Lost Treasure of Yamashita. Today's episode 9. We're down one player. Unfortunately, Meg is not able to join us for this session, but we shall carry on nonetheless on this treasure hunt. So when last we left our heroes, they were in the city of Manila, tracking down the lead that they had nicknamed Grandpa, an eyewitness to the Japanese bearing the treasure in the mountains of Luzon. And due to his eyewitness account, the party was able to determine the location of a said waterfall, which kind of connects with a clue they found in Breach 6 in the military bunker. And so as the party kind of makes their way out of the city, we're going to come back in and see how they wish to do that. And so I bring it to our players. So Meg has become fairly quiet after her conversation talking with Grandpa and his wife, and perhaps it's because of
seeing someone beat up through the back window.
maybe it was that. Maybe it was her own personal reflection on her experiences, but she's been quiet and kind of gives Samantha, Gwen, and Jordan a chance to kind of come up with this next plan. So you're in Manila, you have access, you've got the Jeep that you're currently in, and the next question is really, did you want to follow up on that idea of flying in and landing in the lake, or did you want to take the longer route of driving back up to Baguio and from Baguio through the jungle roads back into Luzon?
I think we've got to fly. Like, if we go by road, we're sitting ducks. And yeah, I know. I've heard the story of what happened to the last plane, but
Don't ducks land on lakes? I feel like we'd be more like a duck if we flew. Just saying.
we'd
I
be
don't-
flying ducks as opposed to sitting ducks. If you've ever seen a duck try to go overland, you know why they fly.
Well, once we land, though, are we just going to fly wherever we want?
The other option would be to do a cargo plane, something we could carry the car in, and the treasure out.
I don't know if we'd be able to land with that.
Yeah,
I don't think
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
might be too big for the lake.
you want to land on the lake. Very well. I guess we're renting a float plane.
And that's my thought. If everyone else really wants to go by land, I'm not going to protest too much, but
I can find a place to park my car until I get back to it. I just think traveling would be easier with a vehicle instead of trekking through the mountains to wherever we need to go.
instead of and Jordan is having this idea of, instead of parking the car, since we know that they're looking for this car,
No, they're not.
I think this one has
they
been
put a tracking device on it.
Not this car.
Yeah, they traded the car out, remember?
Oh, that's right. She
Though-
said her car. I got confused because it was her car that had the tracking device on it.
Yeah.
Well, this is my new car.
Also, Gwen and Meg, but since she's indisposed, it would be pretty much Gwen who would remember the location of all those waterfalls on the map. No matter what vehicle you take in, you're gonna have to still hike into the jungle. So if you were to take like more of a cargo plane, the landing zone would have to end up being the base camp where Blackmore was last. Or if you took the float plane, you wouldn't be able to take the vehicle, but either way, you're still going to have to get to the waterfall from either of those locations.
And
We'll want to make sure we're carrying plenty of water, machetes to deal with the brush, all that good stuff.
yes, and arrows. And the either way though, we will be seen if people are looking for us coming in, so a plane, I suppose, will do.
Sorry, I just realized I'm logged into the wrong campaign on Roll20, so Give me 1 second.
No wonder I wasn't seeing you in there.
This is the problem when you have so many, and they're all kind of have similar thumbnails.
Yeah, I'm okay with driving up or flying a water plane up. But either one option sounds good to me. But trying to get the cargo plane and go into that landing strip seems like a very bad idea to me.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave the plane here at the dock where we pick up our ride somewhere we could park, and should we need it, we can get it.
Okay. So who has the skill, streetwise?
I do.
So
I
go.
have a little bit of it. If you wanna, I have a 5 in it. If you wanna do a +2 on
I have
that.
a 5, so one of us can roll with the other one assisting.
You
If
go
want to
ahead
roll,
and
you
roll.
can.
You
Well-
roll.
well-
I'm good.
Okay, so
Okay,
plus
I'll
2.
roll.
Okay. So between the both of you, you each have. I think it probably makes more sense that Jordan knows somebody with like the cargo plane, and Samantha is able to find a someone relation that she has with a float plane. So you have access to both that you could go through and utilize. And then also with the 3 successes, you're able to like get like water and machetes are plentiful here in the Philippines, so you're able to kind of get what gear that you want for this within
That's right.
reason.
I got a machete last week from that guy that I stabbed and then crane kicked.
Are you
He had a
taking?
machete.
Are you just taking that one?
You need one. He doesn't need it anymore.
Okay, sure. You can add that to your sheet. I think it's a 2L, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
I'm not going to use it for combat. I just don't want to use my Tanto for hacking through brush.
Yeah. So you
Also, I
have
leveled up my stealth since last time, so my
Got it.
subtle strike is more powerful.
Okay. Perfect. So are you guys going with the float plane?
I thought we decided last week. But it was right at the end of the session.
I think the float plane is what we're deciding upon.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the scene kind of flashes forward to kind of the bustling docks of Manila. Samantha is speaking with somebody, an acquaintance, and ends up rendezvousing back at your vehicle, and she has acquired the plane. The only problem is, or the question rather is who is going to be piloting, or are you wanting to hire somebody to pilot?
I think we better hire someone.
I think
Is it-
I think someone would be nice.
If we hire someone, the pilot can wait with the plane, so that it's there when we come back.
I think someone would be nice, but I remember the discussion last week that I took a 1 rank in pilot, and if I took basic piloting training.
So you do
Well-
have the pilot skill then. So
Why don't we hire a pilot, and should they die while they're supposed to wait for us, then you can fly the plane out of there.
Do you say that in character?
Or someone can be a co-pilot, and I can be a co-pilot.
Maybe leave that off the job posting.
I can help co-pilot while
That was
in
supposed to
case
be a
someone
joke.
gets hurt while piloting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, co-piloting I think would be helpful for sure.
So this is
That was supposed to be a joke. Are you saying that could actually happen though?
Considering what we've seen so far since we've joined up with these people.
Is that Eric?
I had to crash land the last plane with no training.
Oh God. Okay. Oh dear.
okay. So yeah, the float plane has enough seats. So I was just checking to see the size. But yeah, you'd basically all be able to do it even if you did want to. So if you wanted to hire, this would be someone that actually Samantha knows. not well, but an acquaintance. Are you wanting to use your resource for that? Samantha?
Turn my resource into a
Right.
plane.
Well, yeah, use your status resource to get the pilot to just
Oh,
be there.
okay, my money.
Well, your
Okay.
your money is getting the plane, but if you want him to pilot it, I think I'm not sure if you guys want to just all pool in and hire, or do you want to just use the fact that he's an acquaintance and try to get him to do it?
I can do that, I suppose.
Do you have any idea what he might look like? As I try to see if I need a token for him.
Just whatever you come up with is, I'm
Probably
sure,
wearing a red
sufficient.
shirt.
Yeah.
No, that's a horrible idea.
Well,
That's right. He's never seen Star Trek.
that's really funny. Okay, well, we'll just move you up here. Actually, I don't need to copy your tokens yet. We'll just skip that part. And you guys are getting on the plane and about to fly. So you have Roger is your pilot. And I don't
Last
have...
name Houston.
Is he
Wait,
an
no, that's-
uncle, perchance?
Is he a what?
An uncle?
Uncle? No. Here's your token.
I'm gonna call him uncle.
All right. This is my...
And he should wear an orange polo, not a red shirt.
There. So the plane engines ignite, the blade starts to hum to life, and you begin to take off from the water because it's parked there on the docks. And you take to the skies. Everybody gets a headset so you can communicate to each other. Again, Meg's awfully quiet, probably sitting more in the back on the window. I think I still have my airplane map. Oh, we could just use the old pilot token. All right.
Roger, is his name Roger the Scrubber?
Maybe it should be.
Before we get in the plane and it takes off after hearing horrible stories, I want to make sure that this plane has enough parachutes.
Okay. It does.
Sweet. Okay.
There is one stowed under
Oh,
each.
is that a British plane? Roger seems to be in the co-pilot seat.
I'm trying to fix it so the name's on top. Hold on.
I don't think you can.
Does it have to be? It should be able to go. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like the names for our tokens be above the portrait.
Oh,
knight.
you not the names. You can put the health bar on the bottom, but you can't change the names to the top. So Gwen, are you there in the right side, co-pilot? Meg's sitting in the back. All right. The plane ride is, I think, a couple hours, if I remember correctly. It saves a lot of time on the drive. But as you're flying through, Roger tries to strike up conversation with Samantha, kind of doing it politely to not, because there's other strangers in the car, but he knew you when you probably flew in. Maybe he knows your family a little bit, and he's trying to ask questions. How are you doing? How's everything been over in at the Red Cross establishment? Did you find what you're looking for?
Same old, same old. No, just going day by day. Nothing, too exciting. I guess as exciting as hospitals are. Just taking some time with some people to go visit this lovely country.
Well, you're looking good, so keep it up. And he kind of looks over at Gwen like, "Hey, how you doing?" And the ride is probably a little awkward at first, having just been put on the plane, but it's easy to distract yourself by looking at the window or the book or whatever you wish to do. Um,
Is Roger trying to be flirtatious with the girls, or is that just him trying to fill silence?
it definitely seems like he has a genuine concern, kind of friendship with Samantha. But when he kind of looking at you, it probably is a little bit more like, "Huh, how you doing?" Like you're both about the same age, and he seems pretty young, probably a little bit younger than Samantha, if I remember correctly, your character's age. Maybe I don't. How old is Samantha again? Is she late 20s?
I don't remember. Let me look.
How old is Gwen too, by the way? Is she also like mid 20s?
Something in the 20s. Did this
Yeah.
put on the character sheet?
I don't know if there's a spot for it on these ones.
No, there's not.
He's not. Oh yeah, probably 20s to 30 range, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the pilot there, he's got kind of a good tan, light stubble around kind of a young face, but probably, yeah, he's in his early 30s probably. Um, Definitely not from the Philippines, but yeah, he seems eager to kind of speak and get to know everybody without trying to make it too awkward. Like there'll be minutes of silence, and you'll break the ice, pointing out this or that. Um, what is Jordan doing during the plane ride? Oh, I think you're muted. Or maybe.
Jordan's kind of keeping an eye on everyone. He's kind of not that much newer to the group than Samantha, but he kind of sees himself as the new guy. And so, other than Meg, who he's worked with in the past and worked against in the past, he doesn't really know these people, so he's still a little wary. He seemed nice enough, but honestly, so does he. And then he goes into full-on scoundrel mode. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Gwen would respond to Roger being and be friendly back. She's just met him, but
Yeah, he probably gets into conversational discovery mode, asking kind of where you're from, what you're interested in, have you been out here to the jungle before? Just going that direction with the conversation.
she'd be friendly and talk to him. Maybe a friendship, a future friendship, but she's still has to be focused on completing the mission. But
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. This would be a survival check, Gwen.
survival, I got one rank in that.
Did he get assistance from anyone else?
No.
Even the person who's not here?
I just rolled for Meg.
Okay.
So, Gwen, kind of distracted by the conversation, just the flow of the trip there. Nothing really stands out to you. You're watching for the lake. That's definitely something that you're kind of focused on. Meg does move over to the other side window and begins to be looking out to the left there as you begin flying over the mountains and jungles. And then, let me check one thing really quick. So I need to pull up one of my books. Except it's on the hard drive up on Becca's computer. Adam?
Do you want me to run it down?
yeah.
Do you know how much like machine gun turrets would be for an attack? I forgot what we used last time.
I have it on the hard drive of this computer, so just give me 1 second, because
I think it was. I think I rolled something like 8 or 9 dice the last time, but I don't know if that was at all anything correct.
Yeah. No, it is. It is something like crazy high like that because they're generally not meant for shooting individual people.
Yeah, it's against the plane, but
Let's see, just give me 1 second.
the area you're approaching is coming up close to the lake. And sure enough, there's that machine gun battery is still up there on the hill and sees your plane, and it cranks around, lines up, and
The one
then
guy did? Because we killed one of them. I guess they could be replaced.
you killed both of the motorcycle guys. Yeah.
Oh, the motorcycle guy was on the battery. Okay.
Yeah, they had biked from the battery back then, and you passed them. They passed you rather in the jungle, but they went back to the base camp. And
Remember, like, someone with a very good sharpshooter shot killed one from the plane. And
someone did land a hit on one. Yes, they actually did not fully kill them. I don't believe, if I remember correctly. But either way, it's hard to see from the plane from up here. But yeah, the mercenary group still has several staff under their employee.
Okay,
Well,
here we go. So, yeah, like a machine gun turret would be. Looks like a lot of these are 3L plus the gunnery skill of. Leagues of Adventure ones are stronger, but it looks like the ones in the HEX book are generally 3L.
That's odd. So 3, they probably have
Of course,
something
those are
like...
like anti-personnel machine guns, so if you're doing an anti-air one, you could up it.
If it's... I mean, even if it's 3, they probably have like a 4... Well, I guess a gunnery skill is intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say 8 dice. So Samantha, Meg, and Roger will roll defense.
oh my goodness. Is that right? That's awful.
Is that right? Is your defense that bad? I don't...
I have
You
a
should
5.
have 5 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled 4 1s.
Welcome to character creation.
I'm going to use two points for of 2 of my coins.
Yeah, you can reduce...
What the? Really? Even with 2 coins?
You can reduce wound by burning 2 style points for a wound, but I don't know if that's gonna help at all. So
oh my goodness.
I give her some style points to represent Jordan, like reaching over and kind of pulling her down when he hears the shots.
Yes, because I don't particularly want to TPK you. I need to roll
Alright,
for
I'm
Roger
burning
still.
2 points to reduce to get rid of one of her wounds.
Who?
Samantha.
Is that a 7? Is that an attack?
That's
Adrian?
that's the attack. So 7 minus defense.
Okay, and then I'll also use 2 of mine to burn one.
Yeah, when Jordan hears the gunfire, during Samantha's the easiest one for him to just reach across the alley and pull.
Yeah, the window kind of shatters, and it's from the back first, so Meg takes some hits, kind of screams. Samantha, you take 6 minus 2, so you take 4 points. Gwen, you had... Where's your defense? Yours was the most recent, so you took 6 minus the 1, right?
I don't know how to do this, Adrian. How do I do the damage in
it's
this
just
type of character sheet?
It's just the token that we're using.
Okay, I don't know what to do. Oh, there we
Their
go.
character
Okay.
sheet is better for tracking wounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to use the hex ones ever again. I still need to roll a for Roger, I will just use Blattmore's character sheet. Okay, sorry, Roger.
Did Roger die? Is
So
Roger dead?
the whole side of the aircraft, all the windows shatter as just bullets spray through, shrapnel. Roger kind of slumps down in his pilot's chair and starts to careen. Samantha, you're pulled kind of out of your seat a little bit, but you feel a lot of pain in your abdomen, shoulder. And then Gwen, from the front, you don't go down because you're not negative, but you're now at 0 hit points, and so you are. Yeah, you're limited to 1 action. Because you took 6 minus the 1, right?
I guess you were starting to say how much I took, and then you got sidetracked.
Sorry, yeah. So if you roll a 1, it was 7 minus the 1, so 6 damage. But if you burn 2 style points, that reduces it to 5 damage. And then if you're at full health, then that puts you basically to 0, which means you're down to 1 action per turn, but you're not unconscious. And then the plane starts to careen and kind of angle down again, and you can just hear the explosions of all these anti-aircraft fire from the back. Boom, 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 boom. And you see that familiar lake kind of up ahead.
Okay.
Not familiar to Jordan.
Yeah, just Gwen and Meg.
At least I have got a rank in a pilot skill this time.
You want to try to ease up on the throttle? Pull up?
Get to the lake. Hopefully we don't crash to our second plane in the same lake. We could fill it up. So really even...
Oh no.
Hey.
Is that put in correctly?
1 plus 2 was 7.
All the times to roll is 0.
Oh boy.
We all just died. Welcome to character creation.
So the plane is shot up. The wing is kind of flapping, and one of the engines kind of ignites in flames. Roger is kind of
Wings
slumped
on
down.
planes don't flap. You're thinking of birds.
Yeah. Well, the ailerons are all loose and broken, so they're rattling. But Gwen, you tried to stabilize. You try to stabilize the plane, and as you try to pull up on it, it's not responding as it's kind of diving back down towards this big body of water that you are now becoming all too familiar with. So Gwen, you've tried to pilot it. Samantha and Jordan in the back seats. You can feel the G's as you're slung, kind of pressed forwards as it's starting to dive.
As we're diving, can I look around and see if there's anything around here that I could turn into a boat? That would be a boat,
you check for
a parachute.
Parachutes
Yeah.
prior.
I had previously.
It's a seaplane. Would it have an inflatable raft in case of a water landing?
I don't think you would need to spend a style point for that. I think that's actually probably pretty likely because they're accustomed to landing on the water. So there's probably one of those pull ripcord inflatable rafts. It's just in the back.
Okay. I don't unbuckle, obviously, because we're crashing. But I do keep a note of, where it's at. Also, you were talking a lot, so I don't think I would have been able to do any medical treatment on myself.
At this point, if you're kind of looking around, probably not this turn. That would be kind of looking, but you've got your medical bag and kind of looking at the wounds down in your abdomen if you wanted to try to do so, but you're also in the middle of about to crash. So
yeah. Now's not a good time to try to pull a bullet out of my body.
Luckily, Jordan knows how to survive a plane crash. He makes sure his tray table is up and his seat is in the full upright position.
Stuff.
I like having a GM who appreciates my humor.
Okay. Meg is going to unbuckle herself, spill into the hallway, and in doing so, because it's nosediving, would she fall forwards or kind of slide back up if it's nosediving? She'd probably actually start going this way, because it's almost like a free fall. The plane is.
I just want to put it out there as a note that I was not for flying.
Yeah, Meg is going to get to the back where she's starting to. She looks injured, but maybe not so much as some of the others, and she's trying to get her luggage. Back to the top, Gwen. The plane is nosediving now. You can see the lake. You've lost your left engine. Basically, it's on fire.
Now, are the controls completely seized up, or is he still try to get control of the plane?
You could try. The difficulty would be increased because now it requires a lot of strength to put into it. It would be tougher, and so with a 3, you'd probably need somebody to get into Roger's seat to help out, just to give you the extra strength. But looking at him, he looks way worse than your first pilot ever did. He's dead.
Well, I said it as a joke, but I guess it did happen.
Yeah.
You made a joke and the god said challenge accepted.
Gwen, what are you thinking?
Likelihood of this getting the plane up is how far away? Would she still have time to get to a door and get to the door and jump? If I do one more check.
You figure at the first impact you probably had 3 or 4 turns before you got to the point of no return. At this point, it's now down to 3.
He will try one more time to get this up using the last battle point.
So,
then she learned from last time that she's keeping her stuff next to her, with her, not in the back. But she's gonna try one more time to stabilize the plane before going for the parachutes.
Okay, so with all of your strength you put into it and begin to pull back on the nose of the plane. Having one engine, you actually turn that off, and so that's not trying to like turn the plane anymore, and you try to pull it up into just a straight glide, and that actually works to pull it out, and you buy yourself a little bit more time, but the plane is still descending rapidly, so it's now kind of leveled off and stabilized. You probably bought yourself another round, but it's still coming down. And then back to Jordan and Samantha, equal parts in the back seats.
Like, I'm prepared for this plane to go under at any point.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to reach whatever lifeboat is hung on a wall?
Yeah, especially since Gwen just stabilized it, so you're not like hanging forwards anymore. It's kind of leveled out and being more of a controlled descent as opposed to a death spiral. So yeah, if you were to unbuckle, you wouldn't fall over immediately, and you could try to go back with Meg to try to get the.
Oh, Megumi is trying to get it. Okay.
Well, yeah, she's in the back, and that's where it is.
Okay.
A quick check, and she's getting her stuff.
Yeah, I think we should both unbuckle, go grab parachutes and the lifeboat.
Okay, yeah. I honestly think I would have grabbed a parachute beforehand, but yeah, we'll go get that. But yeah, let's do that.
Given the stories we've heard about what happens when this group gets on planes,
I feel like the parachutes are probably on the chairs, like on the backs of them, or like stowed underneath, like that kind of thing. The rubber raft though is in the back.
Right, Jordan's gonna get his parachute on and then go help Meg.
Okay.
Yeah, so. I'd do the same thing, but instead of getting Meg's stuff, I'd be making sure like my backpack is on my front, my parachute's on my back, I'm getting the remaining thing
Okay.
I need, which is a boat.
Okay, so getting kitted out.
Yeah.
Meg in the back is going to get the boat off after kind of seeing what you're trying to do, and she gets it out so that everything's accessible. She's got her luggage and then everything. Jordan, did you have your stuff already too? Or was your luggage still in the back? Gwen has her luggage in the front.
Like in steel or something.
Yeah. So as you're in the back, we'll just jump back to Gwen. So you've stabilized it. You think you probably have another 30 seconds before kind of point of no return, and you can probably, from what you know about it, and with some good luck maybe, you can angle the plane to still do a water-based landing, but it would take some precision. And hopefully if the engine could get back online or turn on, that'd make it a lot easier.
They still haven't opened the door, but she's still she says, make sure I'll stabilize it as long as I can. Make sure you get a parachute. Get me a parachute and get ready for the open the door. And in one hand, she would grab her stuff. In the other hand, she would try to continue stabilizing, or at least get her stuff free to grab as she passes, and just
Okay.
hopefully stabilizing it while she's preparing to eventually jump out of this plane.
Okay. Okay. So it's rattling pretty badly. The wing, you can see the riddled holes. Pieces of metal are kind of like peeling off as it in the descent. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a fun landing. You're definitely going to hit the water, but you still have a bit of time. And at that point, if everybody's kind of looking like they're going to jump out with the raft and parachutes, now's as good as time as any to leave the controls, unless you wanted to try to ride it through all the way. But this last one,
She's not, she's not gonna try that again.
okay.
But she's just keeping it stabilized long enough for them to do what they have to do.
Okay. And as you come up to the area, it looks like, Jordan, are you about to open the door? I forgot which side we put the door on.
Wherever the door is, if we need to open it, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I was kind of under the impression that the whole side of the plane was gone, so.
Who needs a door?
But yeah, if we need to open the door, that's what Jordan's doing.
Sure.
He's kicking it open and
Yeah. So
jumping out.
it's there. The lake's below you at a safe enough distance to jump still, so you can just one after another.
Since Jordan was raised in Okinawa and picked up some Japanese customs, he probably jokingly says bonsai before he does it.
All right. And where's our favorite lake? Wow, I can't believe we're using these maps again. Luckily, I prepped for this.
For us to die.
You prepped for this way back when you first wrote the campaign, because this is episode 1 all over again.
Whoops. Oh, he's in GM layer. Okay. Everybody.
By he, I'm assuming you mean another alligator.
It was your old pilot. But yeah, you see the plane sailing steadily a little bit more than the last time it was, but Gwen was able to angle it at a point where it kind of hits the water a little bit sideways, kind of bounces, and then the wing buckles and it crashes into the water. Kind of flips over and remains floating by its floats upside down in the water. Everybody lands into the water. Nobody really has a shot to get close enough to the beach. So you hit the water. It's warm, pleasantly warm, surprisingly.
I inflate the raft.
Yeah. You're all able to pretty much swim over to it without further incident.
Do we have anything anything to like flares or something to maybe scare away alligators?
So Meg grabbed her luggage, you grabbed yours. Pretty much everybody got their luggage. So you can all kind of throw it in.
I was just going to be alligators. Anything like that would like bite might scare them away, or
A plane crashing into the water. I take it that didn't work last time.
as he's getting into the raft, he'd say, "This lake does have alligators. Quick, we gotta get to the store quickly."
How come I never heard about alligators before?
We were hoping not to crash again.
Oh,
Yeah, let's give you.
Getting very good at crashing, apparently.
well, hopefully next time you'll, land without crashing.
That can be the hope.
Yeah, everybody's looking pretty bad except Jordan.
Could I, once I get in the boat, start getting it to land?
Yep,
At which point,
you can try to push. It'd be with oars. I don't think this actually does have an outboard. But yeah, you can.
there's a
begin.
motor on the back. I can't use that.
It's a free token from Roll20.
Ah,
I could give you a different one, but he would
no,
look
it's
like
okay.
this.
I remember that boat.
Inflatable wood boat.
Uh-huh. That's how wood works.
So.
All right. Jordan will take an oar and start rowing.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
druid summoning spell, summon wood boat.
Okay. As you near the beach, it's not exactly the same spot as before. The lake is fairly large. You do see some movement near the shore, what looks to be crocodiles or alligators. One of them, they do not seem to attack your boat or anything, as since you are not just swimming in the water, they see boat as scary and swim away, as opposed to, or some of them don't. Some of them are curious and they let you go by, but they don't bite you or anything. You're all contained in the boat. Do you wish to just beach it and get up to the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get it as far as you can. You can jump out and pull it up the rest of the way. And you have made landing once again in Luzon.
Could I do a medicine on myself?
Maybe we do it when we're out of sight of the alligators.
Okay, we can wait till we're out of sight of the alligators.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine Jordan is probably put to work as hauling all the luggage, since all of the females are injured.
Yeah, Jordan's going to carry as much as he can. Grudgingly, not because he doesn't want to carry the stuff, but because he really wishes he could keep one hand on a weapon right now.
Yeah. Cold, wet, deja vu for some. Here you are. Basically away from the beach enough. You're not going to be worried about alligators, and you're not in the jungle to worry about poisonous insects and all that stuff yet.
It doesn't seem like the forest is a much better place to do medicine.
Nope. People have gunshot wounds and shrapnel splinters and.
Sam's a medic, but I'm gonna try resting. But getting I guess close.
I thought I was the medic.
Yeah, still the medic. So
I thought you said you were the medic.
yeah, we were the medic.
Okay.
What? I need to pull this up.
Since are we away from the alligators enough for me to do medicine on myself?
Yes, you can do your medicine checks.
Okay. What is it at?
If it's on yourself, I believe it's at a -2, but the other ones it doesn't have a
Okay.
penalty.
Let's just do it at a -1, and I'll use my last thingy-mabobbum.
Okay.
And I have the lifesaver talent,
Okay. So you're
which means I'm at 4 out of
Mhm.
5.
yes,
Okay.
and then
And
Kinda.
then who else needs it?
I am
I'll do
good, but Gwen is as
I would probably do Megumi first, just because she does seem more guns-a-ho versus
I think probably
Gwen
Meg
is
would point at Gwen as being more injured. Gwen's at 0
okay.
and Meg's at 2. So she's like, I'm okay to treat her first. At least I think Meg would probably do that as a more pragmatic. Gwen can only do one action a turn and is therefore.
Okay.
she's trying to start. I mean, Sam's starting to do a medicine thing. Gwen would start kind of to herself, start chanting in the ancient Egyptian, trying to cast a bless on this medic.
Okay.
Does that affect my roll?
It will, yes. So
Okay.
I can't touch her. I don't know if I don't know how much time wise how we want to run this, but she would do it as soon as she's starting to treat herself.
mhm.
Sam is treating herself, but it may not be done until she's afterwards.
So are you casting it on Samantha or Samantha and you?
So just Samantha.
So that would be if you're doing it when you're touching her, because she has to get up close to you. So if you kind of like put a hand on her too, like that would be a +2 on your roll.
Do you want me to re-roll it or just roll the separate 2? In which case, I'm not sure how to do that.
I can roll that for you.
I'm going to assume that all of a sudden Jordan gets very nervous and pulls out his gun.
Okay.
I probably don't have time to do a major blessing, so she would probably be trying to do the magic with a +2.
We need to move right now.
I need to do medicine on Megumi or
Okay. I'm trying to remember how one thing works for the magic. So
I think we need to move right now.
can I look around and roll a perception to see if I notice anything?
So it would take 2 rounds of when she's up treating me to complete the blessing.
Okay. I think for doing the medicine roll, like Samantha, would you kind of pause when Gwen's doing that
Um,
and let her finish?
I don't know
Gwen doesn't
because
explain what she's doing because she's in no condition.
I think I would just finish because Jordan seems like he's freaking out about something.
Yeah, and then if that's the case, that's unfortunate. But Gwen, yeah, you'd get because of the lifesaver, she can heal you too. And then as Jordan, if you're coming in like trying to like we need to move, Meg is kind of also like whatever you're seeing or hearing, she's on the other side, kind of like okay, yeah, let's go. And she's got her stuff. She probably also has one of her Berettas like drawn. But where are you trying to move to?
Jordan's got his pistol out. We're getting out of here.
Okay.
Basically, Jordan. That lodestone he wears is pretty much his spidey senses tingling right now. Whatever this thing has gone off in the past, something bad has happened. So it's going off now. We're getting the F out of here.
Yeah.
So your lodestone is going off because of that's funny.
Oh,
that's funny.
Picking up magic, and anytime the
Jordan hasn't had it long. He's not quite sure how it works, but when
Oh,
it goes off,
game,
usually there's something really scary about to happen.
out of game.
So
I'm
we're getting the hell out of here.
I
Sorry,
was
Eric.
trying to catch what did I say something? What? No, I totally get it now. I am going to give that a stop point because that's fun.
Well, no.
The direction we want to head, I believe, is towards the waterfall.
Yes. So moving, like, are you all kind of like following / dragging your stuff with Jordan into where the jungle, or up the beach, or is are you trying to go straight towards the waterfall, which would be into the jungle?
Might as well go toward the waterfall. I'm not sure what direction the scary stuff is. I just know it's nearby.
Meg would
Very
probably
nearby.
push to the lead then because Meg has direction sense, so she knows where it is according to where you're at. So she's still limping, but she kind of takes the lead. And as you move in, Samantha, with your perception, and actually both of you other two can roll perception too if you wish.
It sounds like it would happen after she healed me, but Samantha would get the benefits of the minor blessing.
Yes, you would. So you're at a +2 for this next scene.
Jordan doesn't notice anything. He's too focused on the lodestone.
You freaking out has made me like very on guard. Like, what's going on? What are you freaking out about? Is there something you see that I should be, noticing? So whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So in the process of kind of being rushed and kind of like trying to figure out what Jordan's freaking out about, you kind of move into the jungle line just through into the first trees, and then both Gwen and Samantha kind of looking back, you hear the sound of an outboard motor, that kind of low whine and hum. And then
Did we leave any prints?
I mean, it's probably you left the boat there.
Yeah. Okay.
But how are they going to run our prints all the way out in the jungle?
Yeah, with the perceptions, you see another boat coming in. All right, let me turn it. It's got 3 people inside. One's kind of steering it from the back, and 2 are kind of perched on the front. Rifles, kind of low ready, wearing sunglasses and bulletproof vests, or fishing vests or something. Maybe they've got plates in them, or maybe they're just carrying ammunition. But there's 3 guys in here, and they're just kind of like coming along the coast, looking around. They see the upside down plane and then veer towards that and seem to be going to investigate.
We're in the jungle by now, not on
Yes.
these whatever rocks. Okay.
Yeah, you're like in the trees at this point.
Can we go a little further in, and can I string my bow?
Mm-hmm. Not graves. You may.
Okay. And just have it ready for when I need it eventually. That's probably going to take me a good 20 seconds. Which is why I move further into the jungle before I do so.
So yeah.
I'm assuming by now, since the magic isn't... I don't know,
Yeah.
GM, it's up to you. I'm assuming the casting is done, but they might still be under the effect of magic, so...
I think it'd be...
Still...
Yeah, so first, how does it manifest on your lodestone? Does it shine? Does it become warm? Does it just vibrate? Like what's the sensation when it's active?
I'm assuming it's some combination of vibrating and becoming warm when there's something to sense.
So it's stopped vibrating then, but it still kind of has that warmth to it.
Okay, so we're... And again, Jordan hasn't had this very long to know exactly how it works, so he's assuming, okay, maybe we're further away from it. But he'll rest easier once the lodestone is calmed down completely.
Okay. Yeah, are you continuing to move in? Samantha and Gwen, you're the ones that have seen the mercenaries.
Yeah, moving in, but we also need to at least cover our initial tracks.
Okay. So if you wish to vacate the area, I presume someone has a extra survival over 4.
Yeah, I have survival of 5. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.
And Gwen, didn't you have it too? I think you're either way. You're at a +2
Roll
because of the
a 4.
magic. Okay, so Gwen can also give you assistance. You'd roll out a +4 for survival.
Okay. Backspace 4. Okay. Okay.
And
I got average.
you are able to move into the jungles.
Le jungle.
So you are
Would I
wanting
be
to
able,
go ahead.
before we go on a long trek, would I be able to do medicine on Megumi? Did she need some medicine or no?
She's not complaining, but yeah, if you wanted to kind of take a pause and sit down to treat her injuries, you could. She's got a pretty big laceration on her face from the glass shards, and also kind of some injuries on her shoulder. But yeah, you can try to patch her up.
It's best to treat it before it gets infected. All kinds of bacteria in places like this.
Okay, you want to go ahead and roll with again your +2?
Oh, I forgot the
way.
+2, but
That's
yeah,
enough.
she's probably fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's
At
treated.
this point, if we're pausing for that, Jordan will kind of pull out the lodestone and explain what he knows about it. And
Yeah.
normally whenever he's pulled it out, it's to kind of troll Meg that he got the treasure and she didn't.
So,
But now he's explaining that ever since he got it, it seems to activate when. And he's very much not coming out and saying when there are monsters, but he definitely means when there are monsters. Like when he's encountered the supernatural in the past, ghosts or whatever. That's when the lodestone is kind of giving him a warning.
So as soon as it's kind of like pulled out and you have a good look at it, Gwen, you recognize this not as what the artifact that it is, but you recognize its make. This is it kind of like a crystal, Adam, or you want to tell? You can describe it if you want.
It's a stone ring. I suppose I kind of pictured this as a miniature version of like a yapstone.
Oh, right, you said that
Kind
earlier.
of a stone ring with some symbols on it that maybe they're Asian. If the GM says they're Atlantean, who am I to argue?
Well, there's a lot of Atlantean influence through things, so it might look Asian. Like, is Yap just YAP?
Yeah. If you Google Yapstone, you get the tech company.
But it's like a round with a circle in the middle.
Yeah. On the island, they have these. Basically, they're huge. Oh, sorry. The technical term for it is a rye stone. Here, I'll post the Wikipedia link in the Roll20. Yeah, basically big stone rings that are used as currency on this one specific island.
But it's a smaller version with a ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this is a smaller version that he can wear around his neck.
Okay.
But yeah, you can. If you do, offer it for Gwen to touch.
Assuming he's just showing it, not
Grudgingly, like cautiously, he takes it off, and it's not like a my precious situation, but people have tried to kill him for it in the past, so he's always kind of wary.
Yeah, Meg seems disinterested and kind of standing away, like kind of quiet off to herself at this point, probably because of your previous interactions regarding this artifact.
And that's the thing that more than anything I think would make Jordan worry about her, given like they met competing for this particular treasure.
In my
the
medical
he's uninterested kind of has him worried.
In my medical research, I have researched anything involving supernatural involvement into like the human body and health. Would I recognize it as anything that would be for that?
Roll a academics. Your history one.
Oh, my history one? Okay. Well, I mean, they're the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
3.
So, from what you've kind of researched, if this indeed does have connection with Atlantean stuff, this what he's holding doesn't have anything to do with medicine, but there are artifacts that the Atlanteans have made that do have healing properties. This is not one of them.
Okay, so it probably doesn't really interest me that much, other than it gives you weird heebie-jeebies whenever something is going to pop up.
What would I roll to see if I recognize it as a object of connected to supernatural stuff?
You would also roll your academics for Atlantis, which would be considered, I guess, the history one. You could also roll magic, I think, if you wanted to actually see if it, like, what it can do magically speaking.
At this point, you wouldn't see, at first glance, you would just think it's a stone. So I think I'll roll academics, it's the higher one, and see if you recognize it as in something in the supernatural vein.
Yeah, you would recognize this as an Atlantean, or a not a knockoff, but yeah, maybe like trickle down from Atlantean culture into some. Again, if this is more Asian, the influence is there that this is a lodestone. So it's like a magic sensor.
Oh, I think I've heard of. She would take a look at look at across the clearing. It's like, oh, I think I've heard of those. Kind of picks up. I think that thing was picking up me. Is what she says to Jordan.
Could you hear that?
Excuse me?
So Gwen's looking at it and she can say that she thinks it's picking up her.
All right, Jordan is suddenly very uneasy because in the past, when this has picked something up, it's been monsters. He doesn't quite aim his gun, but he doesn't quite aim his gun and do the whole standoff thing, but he's like, holds his hand out, requesting the stone back.
Oh, I didn't take it as she was just looking at it from a distance.
Okay, I thought I handed it to you.
Oh.
But then Jordan's like, all right, if this thing's detecting you, considering the other things it's picked up on, I'm going to need more of an explanation before I put this gun away.
Didn't really feel up to explaining when we were bullet ridden, but I kind of casted a Egyptian spell on Sam to help bless her to make so she would be better at more skillful.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
Jordan is kind of wary, but hearing this, he does holster the gun. Like, we've moved beyond the point where he's planning to shoot you. So that's a plus.
I'm not very good, but I have. I wouldn't even be barely a novice or an apprentice, but I have studied a little bit.
In the future, maybe warn me before you do that, so I don't assume it's something worse.
I didn't know you had a magic detector, or if you even believed in the stuff. I mean, the first time I did it with Megumi, it's like she didn't even believe in that magic existed.
In your
Sure.
defense, something bad did show up after you told us to leave.
Sure. Not enough information on all sides, but in the future, just give me a heads up, because when this thing detects something, in my experience, it's been bad.
I'll let you know before I use any of my very, very, very limited magic.
By the way, have we heard any more engine noises since we left the lake?
No. It's been quiet since then.
All right.
And if you wish to continue on through the jungle, I will need one more survival check. If that goes to Samantha, she'll get her last +2 before the scene changes, and the
Sweet.
lodestone.
Survival?
Yeah, well, it would be a +4 because of assistance plus the magic, but this would be the last one from that
Last
scene.
one.
Yeah.
Bam! I know exactly where this waterfall is.
So following along with the map, with Megumi's direction sense, with Gwen and Jordan all helping clearing the trail and moving your way, you proceed through the jungle until you reach the river, which kind of is multiple little creeks and stuff running, the fresh noise of water, and then you get to here. And you probably come off, it's not on the map, but off to the side. I'll extend the map so you can have a place for your tokens. Do green. There we go.
What time of day is it?
After the hike, it is probably coming up on... Well, you probably left in the morning, right? After you talked to Grandpa, you spent the day arranging everything and left in the morning, or did you try to leave that night?
I think we would have left in the morning.
I fly at trying to find a lake, and at night there's nothing to see, landmarks.
Yeah, so assuming that it would have been morning, kind of board land or takeoff, couple-hour flight, the incidents that occurred, and then a hike afterwards, you're probably looking at like mid to late afternoon. So there's still there's still day left.
Right, then I say we begin.
Go
Or
ahead.
do we think wherever the treasure is like behind the waterfall or sunken? Like, what do we think?
Why don't we take a look around the waterfall and see if we can find any clues? Are there any markers that you have found like in the land for clues? Any, or has it all been just dig and blow up and C4 your way through?
I'm torn between wanting to scour this place for some signs of an ancient Atlantean outpost, and trying to rest from the bullets from the glass scrapings. But
Grandpa did tell us that people went over here. Do I remember if it was like a large amount of people with like pickaxes, or if it was a group that did late night treasure deposits that came over here? Like, what do I remember for that?
From Grandpa talking about it, he said that there was another group of the Japanese that just moved in this direction as opposed to the tunnels he was working, but they did have basically the slave crews as well, the forced labor of the Filipinos. So they would have had tools and stuff like that too.
So we're like above this waterfall basin, correct?
You're
Like
more on the lower side. I put you on the right side of the map. That's like there's the big basin and kind of the stream running out in the lower area. If you wanted to get up to the top, you could scale the rocks and stuff. Like there's
No. I'm content being at the bottom because what I want to look at is to see if there's anything behind the waterfall.
Okay. How do you want to go about getting there, or just kind of seeing from where you're at?
Handing his gun to Samantha, diving in and swimming behind the waterfall.
Okay. Yep, the water is warm. Go ahead and roll. That swimming is, I believe, just under athletics.
Yes.
So make an athletics roll. Okay. It's enough until you get closer to where the churn is, and from there, it's kind of like you don't want to get too close, or else it'll push you underneath the water. But getting from there, you're good in a position enough to where you can roll a perception check You can try doing that from the water. You're like here-ish.
I'm going to throw a point into this. Just because I realized Jordan doesn't have the crazy good perception Roland did.
Okay. Still pretty good. You can see that there is pitted rock behind it. There's no like just obvious opening there. However, as you kind of looking around, treading water, looking up at the walls, you do see areas where maybe there were footsteps at one point along the wall, or footholds that had been carved into it, kind of covered with moss now and foliage. But it looks like if I draw on here, there's basically a trail, and it kind of starts
Okay,
over
so
there.
this is very Uncharted, kind of like Nathan Drake climbing along the cliff kind of thing.
You see that there looks like there were signs of that type of thing, yes. Maybe at one
Okay.
point they had a scaffold here, maybe, but there's the...
Right. Go back to shore, and I kind of point this out to everyone else.
Okay, you are
How
stopping
good?
what?
How good are you at climbing?
Fair. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Hate to keep bringing this up, but some of what I mean, we've just been shot down from a plane. I want to investigate this area too, but maybe we should rest and recuperate a little bit.
Do you want to try to set camp?
Not
But
against that, but no large fires.
that trail does look interesting, but I mean,
Given how hot it is, I don't think we need much of a fire, but I would like something to keep any animals away.
Meg offers to Gwen and Samantha, since you're still a little bit hurt, that she can go ahead and start making get a space that looks cleared, and she'll get to work on making the Tomb Raider base camp. Save checkpoint.
I would want to maybe, without going too far from the water's edge, where it's and without doing too strenuous of moving around. I would like to look around, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do a scout area.
Do you want to go to like kind of the first area where you can still stand without getting in the water, or even go like knee deep in the water and try to do your archaeology thing to uncover it?
How deep does the water go?
I mean, it's a deep. Do you want to try to swim down and see how deep?
Let me take a look at my athletics.
Well, when I went to check out the waterfall, he made me roll athletics, so it's got to at least be over our heads.
I'm not overly fond of this idea. I'm not a strong swimmer.
I was thinking of rolling perception at this point, just kind of glancing around the area, but I don't know what you want me to roll.
You can do that if you're wanting to, from the perimeter that you can stand on without going in or anything. You can roll a perception check.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So, what are you specifically looking for, Gwen?
Carvings, symbols that would maybe the waterfall symbol carved here somewhere, or any kind of something in the rocks that would look like carvings or of either
Any evidence of human presence?
So
either like you or like writing.
you can see, so kind of where I drew the lines on, there is the markings that used to be either something like carved into the stone to maybe like anchor points for when they had a scaffold up. It looks like there is signs that the previous people here, the Japanese theoretically, presumably, had made some sort of walkway from this area all the way up to the top of the waterfall. From here, there is maybe some more stuff here, but it's all covered up with foliage on that other side.
Ooh. How
Okay.
difficult would it be to get over there to clear that?
Clearing it would be harder than it would be to get over there, because once you're there, you have to like balance in. Maybe with ropes. It looks like the previous clearing there at the top with that rock. Maybe someone had rappelled down there at one point. It looks like there's still at least one tree left. But getting up to the top there, you could maybe get a better look.
Well, was rope along the list of things that I packed?
I think Meg had rope.
I think
Somebody
between
did.
all of us, somebody has it. Yeah.
Meg has rope, grappling hook, pitons, maglite, and standard jungle camping gear and stuff.
I'm assuming rope would have been among the things Jordan picked up before, when he was talking about water and machetes and...
Yeah, it's
all
probably good
that.
you have it, because thinking about it, Meg has probably assembled some sort of like tarp-based tent with her rope around trees and stuff and made kind of a shelter.
I have rope as well. I don't have all the extra stuff, but
My list of resources is sorry. Equipment is reasonable starting gear, but that's I had picked up
Your
reasonable
reasonable probably has more like medical tape, not so much a rope, I would think.
I went shopping, so I'm gonna write reasonable foresting gear.
Okay.
binoculars is one of the things I have. But
Ooh.
that's probably not going to help. I don't know if that would help with across the lake or not.
I think binoculars gives you a +1 on your perception when you're trying to look at something closer. So yeah, with binoculars you'd be able to tell that on this side there is definitely more markings, but again, it's covered up.
Well, I think we need to do some clearing and see what's written over there.
They don't know exactly where we're going. And if we've covered our tracks well enough, we should be able to take a bit of a breather before doing exploration of this area.
Could we get to that section from the other side of the river, or do we have to go up and down and around?
You could take some time just to kind of like hike through and try to find a easier like hill to climb as opposed to this cliff face.
Well, I'm wondering if the other side of the river, you could get to that section easier.
Yeah, if you wanted to try climbing that, it'd be kind of the same thing. Unless you wanted to try to use, like this has footholds and stuff in it that you could try to just follow, or like mount pitons to easily. The other side you just have to kind of start from scratch. But there's so
How about
much.
I climb, leave a rope down for the rest of you to give you an easier time of it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I'd be much obliged.
I'm putting my remaining points into this so that I don't end up...
Now?
Yeah.
Alright.
In real life. It's not the action scenes in movies that terrify me, it's whenever someone's free climbing a giant cliff.
There was Eric, were you part of Dieter's Pathfinder game when we fought the dragon at the end, but the actual difficulty is climbing a 10-foot wall, and we almost TPK'd?
From the wall?
From the wall.
No, the only Pathfinder I've been in recently is yours, right before you ended it.
Here we go.
Then, and then the Rise of the Rune Lords, which I had to step away from when my other game went
3 successes.
from bi-weekly to weekly.
Wait, I don't know why I rolled perception. I meant to roll
that's
athletic.
perception.
Let me roll the right.
Yeah,
Let me roll the
that's
right
a
thing.
that's a reroll.
Yeah.
And
I don't
Jordan,
know.
you can cross the river easy enough, but kind of getting up to this side. You're wanting to make the rope on the left side, right?
I'm wanting to put the rope wherever they need the rope to be for them to get to what they want to look at.
So
I think going
you're
up
just
and
going to
across is fine.
yeah, if you're just going to the top, then the left side is actually going to be easier. 3 is going to be enough as you kind of climb on. There's plenty of vines and ferns, and the rock has lots of handholds. You're able to get up here and drop the rope down. So anybody who wishes can ascend up.
Yeah, this is very Uncharted. Drake like climbs along the rock to leave the rope for Elena or whoever the NPC is that's with him. It's like a good third of every Uncharted game is climb this thing and then find a way to let the rest of your team up.
I enjoyed that part of we didn't do Uncharted. We did like the Lara Croft games. I enjoyed the puzzles. So fun.
Our Lara Croft games are basically, if you've played them, you know exactly how Uncharted plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to play Uncharted. Is anyone going up the rope or?
Someone
Definitely
better.
want to check
I
that
went
out.
to all this trouble to leave it for you.
He can
I think
shot at and near death. He wants to
Does-
make camp and rest and deal with this and do a detailed exploration of this place in the morning.
does Jordan have a knife to be able to cut away some of the foliage?
He has a machete that he got off the goon.
We'll just give that job to Jordan to do. Jordan, can you clear some of the shrubs to the left side of the waterfall?
So
At
there's
this point, would I be able to do another medicine on Gwen if she needs it?
I think if you're at the camp and stuff, so
It would be at a -2, I believe, because of
like redoing from the same thing.
yeah, the same person, I think, again, is done with a -2 because of
Gwen, do you want to counteract that with any Egyptian lingo?
Well, I mean, sure, that's time though to she's gonna do that second. Wait a second. Before you do that, can I go like take the time and like do the full ritual?
If you communicate that so she doesn't try to start healing you too quickly.
Yeah, you need to tell me, otherwise I'm gonna just start going for it. Also, we should probably tell Jordan, otherwise he
Yeah.
might freak out and
Do
have
not
his back.
trigger the lodestone when Jordan is dangling off a cliff.
In the background, he's like at the top, like just
If
hacking.
you go, I would certainly appreciate your talents. But if you want another blessing, I could go through the whole. Since you actually believe in magic, I could go through the whole ritual.
How how hurt are you? Do you need a ritual done?
It just takes some time to get everything in place and the right lines drawn and salt and stones placed and things like
Do
that.
we need to set up candles?
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
think I'm thinking of like Halloween decorations, back at home, like
I don't have any of that here.
looking for like dead animal bones and
Mhm.
I'm just kind of like slightly nervous because this is very weird.
So, up there, Jordan, I'll have you roll a. Should I make you roll investigation or survival? I don't know if you have either of those.
I don't. I was going to buy investigation, but didn't.
Okay. Well, you can clear off the foliage. Maybe not
Yeah,
super detailed, like you're just kind of going to work on the basic stuff.
Yeah, I'm just hacking away at the plants with a machete. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So no roll needed for that. So Gwen and Samantha, if you're going to go ahead and try to proceed with the ritual, if I remember correctly, you're.
if we're gonna explore this place in the morning, or even if we're gonna make like a base camp here, she could set up all the stuff for the ritual and to make things for other things later on.
Oh,
Too.
are you thinking you want to try to like a group do it with everybody, not just for the healing?
Oh, I mean, at this point, she's just doing the healer, but I mean, she might like set up like a Egyptian ritual like shrine, like something with semi, and try to do like a full blessing.
Okay.
So
Samantha's very confused because she's like, "Are you really hurt enough to need all of this just for me to heal you? And if you are, should you really be doing all of this?"
I I was dead from that.
Oh dear.
She still had, I mean, she still has 3 wounds out of her 5 that she could take.
Oh dear. Okay, go ahead.
So she's probably going to take 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, set up the whole shrine and try to do this ritual. Um, so if I can touch her as I'm doing the blessing, that's a +2. I would like you'll let me take the average.
Yeah, if there's no time restraints in this scenario, so yeah, you can just do it with the average and it'll just take as long until it's finished. So you'd be at 7, so average is 3.5.
Dice, but if I want to do the really strong one, I think that's a -4, -6.
Are you trying to do a +2, a +4, or a +6?
I'm going to do a +8 bonus to you.
Oh, a +8. Hold on. Let me open my
That's-
other Roll20. I have it all written out.
So
I have
divine
noted that it's -4.
-4, and my magic is 5 +2 for touching. So the average of 3 dice would be.
So it'd be 3 plus, so 3 or 4. If you used your last style, then it would bring it to 4 dice.
If I can just do average from 7 dice, we'd be down to 3 dice, and that's one plus for the 3 dice.
I'm just gonna send to you.
Well, your average would be 3 successes, 3 or 4 successes. How many do you need
That's
again?
the modifier.
Just needs to be 5 successes.
So yeah, it would take 2 rounds.
Empower
This
would
is
be
Bless,
okay.
which is from I think the Hollow Earth books. I'm not sure if it's the same ones from the.
Oh, yeah. I guess for the first time, she would go through the whole. She would do the whole ritual and do the divine blessing, which is +8 to all skills.
Okay, yeah, it's empower, Adrian, which
Okay,
is
so they just
yeah,
renamed it for the Hollow Earth book.
yeah, it's yeah +8 at a -4, but you're touching me, which is going to be a -2.
Yeah, and then taking the average. So you feel kind of like for a couple, has it been a couple years, you've felt kind of this dull pain kind of permanently just there, and for the first time it kind of feels like it's gone for a little bit, and you feel empowered as this kind of chant goes on for a couple minutes, and then Gwen kind of like finishes out, and you're still there. You hear the noise of. Actually, you probably don't hear the noise of Jordan's hack and slash because the waterfall is right there. It's so loud.
Probably not.
Meg's probably kind of wandered off at this point, doing whatever it is that Meg is doing. And yep, you are able to roll your healing at it would be -2, like you said, because it's a secondary attempt.
-2 with all of the empowerment.
Yeah,
-2
so
+8.
so net +6.
So +6. I'm going to heal you, and you're going to be healthy.
Okay.
Can I roll a medicine on myself as well?
Yeah,
And it's
sure.
at a -4, which is a total of +4.
Yeah, you're gonna end up being fine. So Gwen is so well healed that even your broken fingernail clicks. You're all better.
I would also do Megumi as well, since hey.
Mugumi's already full.
Oh, cool. Right. Sweet.
Meanwhile,
And
Jordan's. Go ahead.
Once I finish hacking at plants, I'm gonna go rejoin everyone. Kind of giving a dirty look because,
Nobody helped you.
We would have said something though, because we did tell you.
No, more because they decided it was a good time to set off my lodestone when I was dangling off the edge of a cliff.
We did tell you beforehand, though.
Which I appreciate, but still.
Wouldn't be tired. Probably the first time in her life that she has done the
Control
divine,
my spidey sense.
but she would be thankful that she had with the gifts of all the divines that Sam was able to heal her.
Yeah, it'd probably be a pretty cool moment for you. And then Jordan like storms up like you could have waited. So yeah, at this
But your
point,
gardening abilities are so good. We wanted to see how well you would do.
Well, anyway, I think I've got the plants cleared off of whatever you wanted to examine, so have at it. I'm gonna take a rest. And he kind of, you know, flips down on whatever log or whatever they've brought over for seating in the campsite. Pulls out some water,
yeah,
maybe some dried fruit or something, and just kind of
Can
has
we-
a relax.
Can we take a look at the cleared off area?
it's getting a little bit later. You could. It's just yeah, if you'd like
Okay.
to. At this point, everyone's probably feeling good enough. So if you wanted to, it's pre-dusk, so you could still climb up there and try to get a look.
Do we need to go all the way over there, or is it visible from far away?
It would still need to be kind of
Okay.
gotten up. Like really, what Gwen does as an archaeologist, instead of it being sand, it's jungle. It still needs to be cleared of moss and kind of inspected up close.
Do we want to do this now or wait till tomorrow?
Still have the blessings of the gods on you if you want to go now, but
I'll go.
I'm tired.
I'll go take a quick look. Can I? I assume he tied off the rope when he did so.
Yeah, presumably.
Could I go and climb up this and then descend and then take
Okay.
a look at all of these things? Can I bring a piece of paper
Jeez.
to take notes?
I was gonna make you roll athletics, but just having the average, even with your bad athletics and the bonus of the rope, you're fine. You can get up there.
Okay. And then I want to descend and kind of clean it off a little bit to the best of my ability,
Okay, so for that,
just to
yeah,
take notes.
getting that ready, I was gonna have you roll an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation +8.
Okay. You are empowered with forces beyond your understanding. And you're lithe, agile, expertly clearing things off while I look at my notes.
I can hear the sounds of the jungle.
Shoot. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding what I need. Okay. On this area, you are able to uncover markings. They are not something that you can decipher very well. They look to be not letters, but like insignias or symbols. You see one that looks like a triangle. You see another one which it looks to be maybe it's an animal. It's hard to see because the rock has been so marred by time. But yeah, there seems to be kind of a platter of letters and symbols.
Can I take a note, like notes of like exactly what I see?
Yep. You can try to like almost draw it out like a board so it's emulated into the paper.
Yeah. Since this person worked so hard,
Okay.
I'm going to draw it out for them.
Okay. Okay. So as you get back down to camp, it's probably sundown at this point, and both Gwen and Megumi can kind of take a look at your drawings. Meg points out that some of the symbols, like the pyramid, in I'll make her roll a linguistics check actually. Yeah. So she's no expert, but there is in Japanese there's kind of like there's symbols in Japanese that mean different things, and there's like a treasure language called the Golden Lily, and the pyramid or the triangle is a sign of treasure in that kind of Japanese slang, but the other one she doesn't recognize. Gwen, on the other hand, you can roll a linguistics check. Okay. So these other symbols that Samantha's jotted down are Atlantean and seem to take the sign of the triangle and give instructions based off of the pyramid. So essentially it says find the pyramid, open the lever to find the treasure. In a much more probably treasury way of saying that.
He would repeat that to describe what she knew and to them. So find the pyramid, pull the lever, he said, and find the treasure.
Pull the lever to find the treasure.
Oh, and there's also waterfall. There's the symbol for waterfall again. So it's like those different symbols carved into the stone from up there.
They're no. What's the phrase in English? What's the word to describe?
Pictograms?
No. There's not conjunctions. Words that show relation to the other
Synonym?
thing. No. Yeah. Some languages don't have them as, but yeah.
So, morning
Uh,
after.
Does it show the relation of the waterfall to the pyramid?
Not from those runes that you found. Not that not at least not that Gwen can tell.
I guess I can't look at these. She's the one that found them. So I've got no idea how old these are, whether these are thousands of or hundreds of thousands years old, original, or if these were carved 30, 40 years ago. That's something I would want to investigate in the morning.
Would we be able to block off the waterfall at all in order to like have some of the water drain to see if there's anything like under the waterfall? Or when I was at the top of the waterfall, was there anything like above the waterfall?
You didn't really spend a lot of time looking up further upstream from it, but the water is definitely going through this point. Like it's focused in on here. If there was a way to redirect it, you could go look, but that wasn't something you really checked for. If you wanted to go back up, you could.
I'm wondering if there's something like under the waterfall.
Coming down, I mean, we didn't see any dangerous animals in this lagoon. It's actually very beautiful here. We could try swimming down in there in the morning.
Could we dam it in order to?
If we had a crew in a week,
Like
Yeah.
with a tree, you know, not necessarily completely stopping the water, but making it to where, like, if we swim down there, it won't crush us with the weight of the waterfall.
I would think if you get far enough under that, you know, you stop. If you get far enough under, I would think,
The pressure
you know,
dissipates.
yeah, it kind of equalizes.
Well,
The
whatever.
question is, are we strong enough swimmers to make a go of this?
I'm not.
Well, a little while ago.
By we, I mean me, because this sounds like a Jordan thing.
Meg like claps you on the back and it's like, I'm glad we brought you along for this kind of thing then.
30, 40 years ago, put in something to get to the top of the waterfall. So that makes me think that seems less likely that whatever is there is underneath the water, but it would be a good place to check.
Well, why don't we check out tomorrow if there's any signs of human activity above the waterfall to see like what they were doing? Because if they were doing something like that, they would have also had to have done the same thing. So we can just like look out and see if there was anything that could have done that. You have a good point.
I
Well,
can't believe I'm asking this, but if I am going to be diving under the waterfall, maybe use your ability to give me an edge. And Jordan is like gripping the lodestone as he says this, like possibly thinking he's crazy for even suggesting it.
Yes, in the morning, I still have that Egyptian altar I made over there. In the morning, I can either give all of us a weak blessing or one person a stronger one.
well, here's the question. If he goes and he finds something, will he come back?
The Billy seems to trust you, I
I'm
think.
hoping I don't find the kind of thing that would stop me from coming back.
I feel like I don't want to speak for Meg, but I feel like maybe she'd say like I would go with you to make sure you come back or something. I don't know.
Like, I know that Samantha's suggesting that he finds treasure and doesn't come back, but Jordan's more thinking like, is he going to find monsters that stop him from coming?
That's definitely what Samantha's thinking. She's seen enough interactions between you and Meg to know that if he finds something interesting, I'm not entirely sure he's willing to share it.
Sure.
Even if I don't necessarily want it. Anyway.
I think I'll have to come back. Look, I get it, but I'll have to come back eventually because, well, I can't stay underwater forever.
Well, you could. You just might not be alive.
Sure.
But we're here, we're alive. We found some. We found a good lead. As far as we know, our people looking for us don't know exactly where we're at. We'll just know we were crashed in the lake.
Yeah. All the same, I think we should take watches. I can take the first one, Meg says.
I'll take the second one.
I might as well take the third one.
Okay. That means you're cooking breakfast, Gwen.
No, I can't say. I can't promise it'll be good, but I can try.
Do
What
your
do
magic
you do?
stuff.
What do you do in order to cook breakfast? Like, what do you roll for that? Craft?
I
Dinner?
think it's probably
Breakfast?
what, art or craft? No, it's probably
Yeah.
craft.
It's generally not a. I mean, you could do craft cooking. But generally,
Yeah, I'm not gonna make people roll for it, but
Against most people, she would say, I'll tell you, for most people would suggest that. I would have told them I don't cook, but, I mean, most people are misogynistic. Well, most people who suggest that are misogynistic.
Well, I think for now it's time to go to bed, and I'll see you all in the morning.
all right. So if everybody would like to take their evening rest, I'll have Meg roll a perception, and then Jordan go ahead and roll a second perception.
Before I lose my plus ace bonus, can I roll for the meaning of life?
What would that even be?
42.
Okay, well then you don't need to roll. Meg does a
Hold
good
on.
job on her watch. Jordan, she'll wake you up, kind of say something to you that's Meg and Jordan-esque, and pass the watch to you.
sure, the frenemy
Yeah.
banter that they have going.
Exactly. Yeah, so you are also, everyone's lulled to sleep by the waterfall. The kind of vapor in the air prevents mosquitoes from getting really irritatingly close to you, and the tarps and canopies that Meg was able to assemble for your camp makes a nice evening sleep. Nothing occurs. During the night, or during Jordan's shift, it's actually closer to the end of the shift, so closer to morning. Or no, who took the last watch? Was it Samantha?
Meg.
Mhm.
Oh, I took the third.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
go
actually
ahead and roll that.
after. Yeah, you take yours. So because it would be the last third of the evening, almost pre-dawn. Jordan passes the watch to Samantha, and Samantha, during the watch, you hear a plane overhead. Just kind of, it's a low hum. Then you kind of look up. You don't quite see it, but you can hear it pass overhead, and
That says it's
seems to be.
crashing.
You do not hear a crash, but this one seems to pass over and fly to, what direction would that be? It would be flying to your east. And that is
There's
the,
no out east. East is not relative.
Technically, east is water.
yes, well, if you remember, so if this is the map where you are, that's terrible, but like the camp and the landing strip was like here, the mountain and breach 6 is like here, and the lake was like right here. So you're up here and something was flying that way.
It's probably heading to the camp, which Jordan doesn't know about because he's asleep in the first place and has never been to this camp.
Yep.
I would make a note of the plane, obviously not pointing myself out while looking at it, but I would see if there's any markings and at the direction in which it's flying to.
Mm-hmm. So morning comes. Samantha wakens Gwen. Kind of a breakfast is of some sort. Probably meager rations. I don't know if you want to start a little fire to cook up something, but yeah, you get going about the day, and I think that's where we shall pause for tonight.
Wait,
It's Aowen soup.
did that even roll any dice?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay. I got a clue. It's intelligence 4.
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll. Okay, your Aowen soup turns into wonderful heated jerky. But yep.
I'm rolling 4d2 at this point.
The answer to life is 2.
4d2. So I think we succeeded with the 2.
Yes. On that note, in the morning, Samantha does wake up with kind of that dull ache again. It's
Lovely.
back, and it feels a little worse than normal. And that is
Wait, but
where
that's interesting.
where we shall stop, though. So, thank you all for playing. We will see you next week for episode 10 as you continue your escapades at the waterfall.